So have you ever wondered if your emotional reaction is coming from a place, like a healthy place, or is it actually an old wound being triggered? So today we are exploring how to tell the difference between an emotional trigger and a healthy boundary response. So let's imagine that an emotional trigger, these are emotional hot buttons. They are reactions rooted in past experiences and unresolved wounds, unresolved trauma. So perhaps you are, let's think about it. What are some of the key signs? So an emotional response feels overwhelming, intense, you react quickly, impulsively, the reaction seems bigger than the situation deserves, and you feel personally attacked, even when it wasn't intended as a personal attack. And it lingers, it loops. This is an example of what a trigger looks like. You know, imagine yourself checking your phone and seeing your friend hasn't responded to your message, and suddenly you are flooded with feelings of rejection and abandonment. That's likely a very strong trigger, right? Sometimes we don't know what the feeling is, but that's another story. Now let's look at healthy boundary responses. These come from a place of self-respect and clarity, mental clarity. So you are showing confidence, groundedness. You can spot a healthy boundary response. For example, you know, if the reaction that you have in an experience is empowering and not draining, you're not emotionally charged, and you're not trying to control the other person's behaviors of what they say, and you're acting really calmly and clearly and grounded, that's a healthy response, right? So there is a big difference in how a trigger, a projection, and a healthy response comes from really feeling confident about your decision, your understanding that you are putting a healthy boundary because you deserve that respect. So if it is an experience that comes from past wounds, or even feelings that you don't recognize, but you know, I know that feeling, I just don't know what that is a trigger, that is a projection, something that you may be projecting onto the situation because there are parts of ourselves that we are not aware of. So the trigger, the projection, makes us experience something strongly within us because we need to pay attention to it, but a lot of the time we just end up blaming the other person. So big difference, right? When we start paying attention at what is it that I'm feeling internally, what is it that is happening internally, we start the process of releasing triggers. If you want to learn more about triggers, you can go to soulhealingtribe.com. You can go to soulhealingtribe.com. I just wrote a blog post that I think you might really enjoy if you want to learn more about triggers and what happens to those people that we are projecting onto our issues, our unresolved material from our deeper inner psyche workings, right? A lot of the time they have to hold that energy, and because they don't have the right emotional, mental, and different psychological boundaries or resources, they can actually hold that trigger and it becomes so intense for them that they don't know what to do with it. So they may also act more strongly than they would because we are giving them extra material to amplify that energy. So a lot of the times people say, I don't even know where they come from, but that's because somebody's projecting onto them and they have no idea how to hold that energy, or they don't have the resources so that they can actually even experience burnout. Because when we are projecting onto someone, we are giving them energy, we are attaching our part of ourselves onto their psyche, into their energy field, so that then now they have to carry with our energy to what is already there within them. So now whatever is there within them, if it's anger, fear, jealousy, whatever, now it's going to become amplified, and they may have abrupt experiences, emotional discharges, because we are also projecting onto them our issues. So now they have their issues plus our own. The thing is that we have to know what are we projecting, what is triggering us, so that we can start the process of healing and really coming back to ourselves, so that we don't have to have attachments. Because when we have projections or triggers, that means we have attachment issues as well, because the person projecting to us, you know, we're always going to have some type of projection because we're always learning and evolving. But when it's excessive, that's when we really need to start paying attention. Like, why is this happening? Why do I keep experiencing this triggers with different people, or it may be just one person that has chosen the wrong to trigger the crap out of you, because they not only they have to work on that, but you also have given them the responsibility of being the person projecting onto you whatever is happening with you within your inner psyche. I hope that makes sense. I know I may be confusing some of you. Go to the blog and maybe that will help clear up some of the things that you may be like, what. All right, I'll see you all on the next one. Thank you so much.